Welcome to episode number 13 of this Texas Rangers MLB The Show 20 March to October continued in franchise series. And today I'm obviously playing my Texas Rangers MLB The Show 20 March to October continued and today I'm obviously playing my Texas Rangers MLB The Show 20 March to October continued in franchise series. I know that's a mouthful, but that's the official name of it. Although that is the official name of it, although, like I said, it is a mouthful. It's episode number 13 of the series, like I said, 35 sentences now, and like it says in the title. And yeah, Texas Rangers, obviously I started this as a March to October in, I believe, MLB The Show 20. By the way, this is MLB The Show 20 because you cannot port any franchises from MLB The Show 20 into any later versions of the game. So I have to continue this series here in MLB The Show 20, which I have no problem, I have to continue this series in MLB The Show 20, which I have no problem of doing. I have no problem doing that. I started this as a March to October, obviously. As I said, March to October continued in franchise. And for March to October, you only can do 1 year. After your first year, regardless if you win the World Series or not, you can do the year over again. Like in this case, I started this here in MLB The Show 20. I started this March to October in MLB The Show 20. And after your first year, which we did win the World Series in the first year, I was going to show you it. So you can see right there, if the glare is not too bad, we wrote the win record. We went 118-44, won the World Series against the I don't know who we played last. I think it was the Dodgers. But either way, year number 2 technically, although the first year was a March to October, it still counts as year number 1 of 3 here in this franchise, or March to October continuing franchise. And the contract status is on, so you have 3 years. This is year 2 of 3. Year 1, which is 2020, like I said, or year 1, like I said, it was 2020, and or year 1, year 1 was 2020, like I said, and then, like I said, we went 118-44, and won the World Series against the Dodgers, or I forgot who we were playing. I forgot who we won the World Series against last year, but either way, we won the World Series. I went 118-44 in the we went 118-44 in the regular season, and then won the World Series. But yeah. So after the first year, in this case, we won the World Series, but even if you don't, regardless if you win the World Series or not in your first year of March to October, at the end of the year, after the season's over, it gives you an option to start the year over again and continue in March to October, or continue that March to October in franchise. And I chose to obviously continue it in franchise because I wanted to move on. I didn't want to do the 2020 over again. So now it's obviously 2021. We're about to play a game against the Los Angeles Angels at home at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. That is the stadium behind in the background on the screen. It's in the background. I know the last episode of the series was I think in November of last year, so it's been 9 months since the last episode of the series, but better late than never. We're 19-8. They're 13-15. Starting pitching matchup for this game, it will be definitely Lance Lynn for the Rangers, but it won't be Teddy Stanty Wiz. I'm gonna be botching his name. I don't think he's a real player. It will be Lance Lynn for us, but it won't be Teddy Stanty Wiz for the Angels because he pitched in the last game. Where we won 4-0, he pitched in the last game, so it won't be him in this game. It'll be someone else, and obviously you guys will find out who that will be in a few minutes here. But first, I'm gonna show you our bullpen, or our lineups, I guess, and then lineups, and then starting rotation, and then bullpen. We have Ellis Andrews, we have DJ LeMahieu, who we signed to a 3-year deal, $22.7 million, 30 years of player option. Mookie Betts, yeah, you would think if you're a Rangers fan, if you're a Rangers fan in real life, you might be thinking to yourself, I wish we did this in real life, which I guess technically you did with Corey Seager and some other players, but obviously in real life, yeah, they did pick up Corey Seager and gave him a lot of money, sending for a few other players, but obviously the Rangers, are better than last year, but they're not going to make the playoffs this year in real life. They're better than last year, but did enough to be a playoff team. Then we have Joey Gallo, who in this game is still on the Rangers, although in real life he's now on the Dodgers. Trey Mancini, now on the Astros. He's also on our team. Willie Calhoun, Rougned Odor. In real life, I think he's on the Orioles. I'm pretty sure. Todd Frazier, I'm not sure where he is these days. And Robinson Chirinos, who in real life is on the Orioles as well, I believe. But this team is still on the Rangers bench. And the bench, George Springer, who in real life is on the Blue Jays. Danny Santana, I'm not sure where he is these days. Reese McGuire, who's on, I believe, the Blue Jays in real life. Nick Solak, and then Andrew McCutcheon, who I believe is on the Brewers. He's on the Brewers, and I'm not sure where Solak is. But yeah, I mean, this team is good. This team is good. And then rotation, we have Corey Kluber, Mike Minor, Lance Lynn. And the only reason I have an 82 overall pitcher and Mike Minor ahead of an 88 overall pitcher and Lance Lynn is because I rather for this upcoming game, which will be obviously in this episode, I'd rather have Lance Lynn starting than Mike Minor, because Mike Minor or Lance Lynn has better stats than Mike Minor. So I have Corey Kluber, Mike Minor, Lance Lynn, Kyle Gibson, and Jordan Lyles. Bullpen: Brett Martin, Shane Carley, Steve Sachet, and Gerono, I always botch his name. And Rita, man, I just can't. Well, we have, like I said, Brett Martin, Shane Carley, Steve Cishek, Andrew Miller, Nick Goody, and then our closer Jose Leclerc, who I think is doing really well for us. Yeah, 11 for 12 on saves, sub 1.3 ERA, and then a sub .6 WHIP. Yeah, it's odd. Man, I just can't pronounce his name, but he was on the Braves for, I think, well, he started with the Braves, then he went to the Cubs, and went back to the Braves. Well, he was 2 years between when he was on the Braves, and 2 years, I don't know where he was, just from 2012 and 2013, I just wasn't in the majors. 2014 was in the Cubs. 2015 went back to the Braves up until 2019. That was his last year where he only had 4 appearances. 2020, which is last year, just wasn't in the majors or wasn't on a team. And then this year, obviously, 16 innings pitched, has a 6.75 ERA and a 1.63 WHIP. Yeah, not good. And we're down to 2 years, $2.8 million per year, and the second year is a club option, and it might be somewhere, it might be something like, obviously, like I said, 2-year contract, $2.8 million per year, and the second year is a club option, and I might not pick up that option after this year, because I won't if he still has a 6 ERA. Now, Adonis Vitorino, Vitorino, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. I have a trouble pronouncing his name, but you saw his name on the screen there. But yeah, it's the third and final game of this 3-game weekend series. Rangers are on a 3-game winning streak. Won the last game of this Yankee series, and then won the first 2 games of this Angels series. So it's the third and final game of this 3-game weekend series. We already won the series, the Rangers did, but we did the sweep against our division foe, the Los Angeles Angels. We are in the same division. We're in first place right now, 2 games up on the A's, 6.5 games up on the Angels, 7 games up on the Astros, and then 14.5 games back, or 14.5 games up on the Mariners. Mariners right now are the Mariners are 4-22. And first, I decided to show you the standings quickly. Red Sox lead the AL East, game up on the Yankees, 2.5 games up on the Rays, 3 games up on the Blue Jays, and then 6.5 games up on the Orioles. Indians lead the AL Central by half a game over the Twins. Obviously, we lead the AL West, 2 games up on the A's, 6.5 games up on the Angels, 7 games up on the Astros, and 14.5 games up on the Mariners, who are 4-22. Yeah, and then the Twins and the A's are in the 2 wildcard spots. The Nationals lead the NL East with, by a game over the Mets. The Brewers lead the NL Central, 3.5 games up on the Cubs, and then the Dodgers, per usual, lead the NL West, 4.5 games up on the Giants. Now let's get into this third and final game of this 3-game weekend series against the Angels at home at Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. Now we already won the series, the Rangers did, but the Rangers already won the series, but can they get the sweep against the Angels? We'll find out. Well, you guys will find out at the end of the video, you guys will find out at the end of the video, and I'll find out at the end of the game. So the game's at 3:05 Eastern, so that's 2:05 Central. Let's get into it. Now, so both controllers per usual. The Rangers will be the red controller, and the Angels will, the Rangers will be the red controller, and the Angels will be the blue controller. Let's get into it. It's multi bets for us, and is that Jose Abreu for the Angels? They have Jose Abreu? Well, home uniforms for us, away uniforms for, or home uniforms for the Rangers, road uniforms for the Angels. Let's get into it. Or home uniforms for the Rangers, road uniforms for the Angels. Let's get into it. Globe Life Field holds 40,300. Opened in 2020. So technically, in this game, it opened 1 year ago because it's 2021 in this March to October continuing franchise. Presentation mode broadcast theme style. The show theme put counts on. Retractable roof. Let's close it. And the cloud cover will be overcast. So that's why the roof will be closed, because if it's overcast, although it might not be raining, they still might close it, because if it starts to rain with the roof open, it probably if it starts to rain with the roof open, that wouldn't be good, because it probably takes like 15-20 minutes to close the roof. So yeah, it won't be Matt and Drew. The only pitcher for the Angels who actually has full energy is Griffin Cannon, and he, I believe, is their highest overall pitcher. So yeah, it'll be a righty versus righty, 90 versus 82. Lance Lynn is the 90, and Griffin Cannon is the 82. What is it? What is this? I just wanted to get that off the screen. So they have Andrelton Simmons, David Fletcher, Anthony Rendon, Mike Trout, Jason Hayward, Jose Abreu, Ryan Goodwin, Alex Dickerson, and Jason Castro. But they also have Shohei Ohtani, who can play right field or can play the outfield and be DH. His energy's kind of low. If I put him as a DH instead of Brian Goodwin, why not? And I'm not bad him. It's bad him fifth, I guess. But yeah, let's get into the game. That'll be in the next clip, because this clip's about to end. Sorry, it's like 12.5 minutes in the video, and I haven't even started the game yet. But the game will be in the next clip. I'm the play-by-play announcer for this game, and Matt Vasturgeon is not turned down at all. The game will be in the next clip, so I'll see you on the other side. See you then. So like I said in the last clip, at the end of the last clip, like I said at the end of the last clip, I'm the play-by-play announcer for this game, and Matt Vasturgeon is not turned down at all. Let's get into the game right now. Angels at Rangers. Let's get into it. Andrelton Simmons was dragged in during pregame warm-ups. You should consider giving him the day off. Yeah, his energy's kind of low. Why not? Let's put Iglesias in there. Just leave it. Jose Iglesias will replace Andrelton Simmons in the field and in the batting order. Let's get into it. Okay, now let's get into it. Your Brooms, Rangers lead series 2-0, looking for the sweep. We're 19-8, they're 13-15. They have Ohtani, batting fifth, and the DH. Our DH is Willie Calhoun, batting sixth. We have like 4 guys on fire, or 3 guys on fire, and 2 guys cold. And then they have 2 guys on fire, and then 1 guy cold. We are live and on the air for another edition of baseball here on the show, as we have a good matchup for you this afternoon between the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim and the Texas Rangers. The Rangers look for the 3-game sweep against the Los Angeles Angels and Mike Trout here today. First pitch coming up next. Lance Lynn is on the mound for the third and final game of this series. 5 starts here in 2021 so far. 2-1 record, 3.98 ERA, 31 2/3 innings pitched, 32 hits, 1.26 WHIP, 8 walks and 36 strikeouts. He's on the mound for the third and final game of this 3-game weekend series, with the Rangers looking for the sweep over the Los Angeles Angels. Here the roof is closed here at Globe Life Field because it's overcast here on this April afternoon, right? I believe it's April afternoon. As we're on your way here at Globe Life Field. Here's Iglesias. Popped up on the infield. On the first batter of the game, that's Odor. And there's 1 down leading off the ball game. Here's the starting lineup for the Los Angeles Angels, looking to avoid the sweep here today. Jose Iglesias, David Fletcher, Anthony Rendon, Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, the Japanese Babe Ruth, that's what people say. Some people, Jose Abreu, Jason Hayward, Alex Dickerson, and Jason Castro. Yeah, Ohtani is called by some people the Japanese Babe Ruth. Obviously, he's a two-way player, Ohtani is. Here's Fletcher, ground ball at the middle, base hit, it got by the pitcher, and up the middle for a base hit. There was no shift on, and that's the first hit of the game. 1 on, 1 out. And then here's Anthony Rendon. Obviously won a World Series with the Nationals in 2019. He's batting .380. Hit hard! He hit that on the nose, perfect, past the shortstop, Andrews. 2 on, 1 out now for LA. There's Mike Trout, 7th in OPS, or 7th in on-base percentage, excuse me. Here we go, full count, 2 on, 1 out. Then .330, popped up, behind the plate. Does Chirinos have room? By the railing, he does have room. In foul territory behind the plate, as Chirinos has just enough room to make the catch up against the railing behind the plate, 2 down. And here's Ohtani. He's been at .161, 2 home runs, 5 RBI, so he's been struggling through the first month or so of the season. He can come through for his team, 2 on, 2 out, top 1. Ground ball, third base, that's Frazier, he'll step on third base for the force, and the inning's over. 2 hits and 2 left for LA. Rangers coming to bat, no score here on the show. Griffin Canning gets the start on the mound for LA here in the third and final game of this 3-game weekend series. 5 starts here in 2021 so far, 3-2 record, 2.94 ERA, 33 and 2/3 innings pitched, 29 hits, 1.10 WHIP, 8 walks and 28 strikeouts. Here's Elvis Andrews, the leader off for Texas, full count. Andrews batting .312. Ground ball, that's not a base hit, fielded by Fletcher. Throw to Abreu, who in this game is on the Angels, will get Andrews 1 down. Here's the starting lineup for the Texas Rangers. Elvis Andrews, DJ LeMahieu, Mookie Betts, Joey Gallo, Trey Mancini, Willie Calhoun, Rougned Odor, Todd Frazier, and Robinson Chirinos. This lineup is stacked, and right now this team is in first place in the AL. West. Here's LeMahieu, ground ball, bat to Tannen. That's a 1-3 ground out, 2 down quickly here in the first. Mookie Betts, who I believe was a Silver Slugger Award winner for the outfield last year when he was still, I believe, on the Dodgers. Ground ball where no one was, base hit, shift was on. Shut off by Hayward, but Betts has the first hit of the game for Texas. Here's Joey Gallo, slugger, and .320. Our ground ball foul. That was an emergency hack. He swung that ball so late, very late, but that probably going to be called strike 3 if he didn't swing. 2-2 ground ball. Iglesias will throw to the Fletcher cover and center base for the force, and the inning's over. 1 hit and 1 left for the Rangers. No score after 1. Top 2 here in Texas. Here's Abreu. And .324, a lot of high averages for both of these teams. Obviously, it's only a month into the season. Foul ball, 1-2. Rangers are defending champs here in this game. 1-2. Ground ball to the other first baseman, LeMahieu. Underhand flip to Lynn, 1 down. And LeMahieu can play first base. And here's the Rangers defense. Joey Gallo, Trey Mancini, Mookie Betts, who won a Gold Glove last year. In the outfield, DJ LeMahieu also won a Gold Glove last year. Rougned Odor, Elvis Andrews, and or DJ LeMahieu, Rougned Odor, Elvis Andrews, and who's that third base? Oh yeah, and then obviously DJ LeMahieu, Rougned Odor, Elvis Andrews, and Todd Frazier in the infield, and obviously Robinson Chirinos behind the plate, and obviously you guys saw what the fielding percentage was for the Rangers, what it was, and what that ranked in the AL. It did show that, but I just didn't see it. 1-1. Nearly the full count, or 1-1 pitch to Hayward, batting 300, or line drive, base hit, against a shift, cutting it off and left is Dallow. That will hold Hayward to a single. Third hit of the game for LA here in the second inning. And here is Alex Dickerson. 1-1, 1 on, 1 out. Ground ball to be 2. Frazier, Odor, LeMahieu, and then double up Alex Dickerson. Frazier, Odor, LeMahieu, 5-4-3 double play and the inning as the Rangers double up Alex Dickerson. Middle of 2, it's 0-0. Bottom 2 now. Here's Mancini. We got via trade from, I believe, Baltimore last year. He's been at 330. Ground ball by Abreu. Throw to Griffin Cannon. Got Mancini by like 4 steps, 1 down. And here's the Angels defense. Alex Dickerson, Mike Trout, and Jason Hayward in the outfield. Jose Abreu, David Fletcher, Jose Iglesias, and Anthony Rendon in the infield. And Jason Castro behind the plate. 992 fielding percentage for the Angels. That's 4th in the AL. So, I mean, they're top 5 in fielding percentage. Here's Calhoun, who has 11 home runs. That's tied for first. Or Calhoun has 11 home runs, which is tied for first in the AL through the first month of the season. 2-2. He's a DH for Texas. Ground ball up the middle, past Iglesias. 2 out, or 1 out single for the Rangers DH Willie Calhoun. 1 on, 1 out for the Rangers. Now it's Odor. Then 368. 1-1. Foul ball on the slider, 1-2. 1-2 again to Odor. That is low and outside, 2-2. As Angels 13-15, 4th in the AL West. 2-2. Fly ball or line drive center field. Trout is back. On the run. He makes the catch shy of the track. On the run over the shoulder. 2 down. And that possibly saved the run. Maybe. 2 down now for Frazier. Who's been 256. Torino's on deck. Line driving in the gap. Over is Hayward. And he won't get there. And the inning's over. Possibly saved another run. Or he possibly saved the run as well, and the 2 at 0-0. Here's Castro in the top of the order. He's been at 200. 1-1. Ground ball. Frazier cannot get there as it's passed or through the infield to Frazier's left. 1 out or leadoff single for Castro. He's only been at 200, now over 200. Here's Iglesias, who popped out to lead off the game. 1-2. Fly ball, shallow, right field, Betts is there. 1 down. Now see the Rangers got Betts via, or I forgot Betts was a free agent signing, sending for LeMahieu and some other people. Here's Fletcher, 1-1, or 1-2 pitch, he's 1 for 1 in the game. Line drive, Betts doesn't have to move, or he moved a little, but you only have to move maybe like a step, 2 down. That's right to Betts. Here's Rendon, who also singled in the first. That is in there. Good pitch. 1-2. Good curveball. 1-2 now to Rendon. Ground ball up the middle. Base hit. Stopping at second is Castro. 2 on, 2 out now for, I believe it's Ohtani. No, I don't think it's Ohtani. Yeah, it's Trout and then Ohtani. 2 on, 2 out now for Trout. Trying to do his team on the board first. Ground ball, Odor. Fields the hop, throws out Trout, and the Angels again strand a pair of runners. Middle of 3, it's 0-0 here on the show. We're back to, oh, never mind, sorry. Runs per game, we're averaging 6.15 runs per game. That's first in the AL and the MLB. Look at all those stats. Runs per game, average, on-base percentage, slugged in, and home runs are all first in the AL and first in the MLB. The only thing that's not first in the AL and the MLB is stolen bases, which is 13th in the AL and 25th in the MLB. But everything else is first in the AL and first in the MLB. Thanks, Heidi, for that report. Here's Chirinos. Line drive, but right to Fletcher. But like I said, thank you, Heidi, for that report. 1 down. And yeah, they were about to show the standings for the AL West, but I hit the X button right when I saw them come up. So sorry about that. 1-2. But I just saw him earlier. Ground ball, Fletcher. This time he'll field it on the ground. Throw out, Andrews, 2 down. And this team, obviously the Rangers, I mean, they do have 2 hits, but they don't have any runs yet. But every team, yeah, I'm about to throw the pitch. I already threw the pitch. It's mid-pitch. Here we go. Ground ball, and it's botched by Abreu. Abreu just whipped on it. And that might be an E3 or a single, as the throw by Hayward's a little offline. It's blocked by the chest of Abreu. That could be an error. And that's exactly what it is, as it showed Cannon there, but it's actually an E3 on Abreu. Who, yeah, so an error. Here's Betts after the error by, 2-out error by Abreu. Trying to make them pay. Ground ball at the middle, base hit. And stopping at second is a runner at first. 2 on, 2 out now for Texas. So an error by Abreu, then a single. 2 on, 2 out now for Dallo. Trying to get something going here. Ground ball at the middle. Run down by Iglesias. Throw to center for the force, and the inning's over. 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left for the Rangers. And the 3, it's 0-0. Here we go. Here's Ohtani, 0 for 1 in the game. 2-1 pitch. No score, top 4. Ground ball, base hit for Abreu, or base hit for Ohtani. And that ball goes right through the legs of the umpire, the second base umpire. Leadoff single for Ohtani. Here's Abreu. Made that error in the last inning, but didn't come back to haunt his team. Full count. Ground ball right back to the pitcher. 2nd 1, first double play. 1-6-3 double play. Lynn, Andrews, LeMahieu, 2 double plays in the first 4 innings. 2 down now for Hayward. 47th pitch time from Lynn. Ground ball, punched almost through the shift, and he did punch it through the shift. Past the diving Odor. And that's a 2-out single for Hayward. As the Angels are showing the pile that hits up, but we got 7 hits already. The Rangers 3, but no score still. Here's Dickerson. Line drive, base hit. And it didn't stop in at second is the runner at first. 2 on, 2 out now for LA here in the 4th. Trying to get something going here. Here's Castro. 3-1 hitters count. And that is in there. Hit the bottom of the zone, full count with Iglesias on deck. Both runners will be in motion. Ground ball, and it's over the glove of Frazier. Runner's coming home. Goes through to the plate, is up the line. And the Angels strike first as that ball hopped right over the glove of Frazier to the nasty hop. And went over the glove of Todd Frazier at third. Runner at second will score. Runner at first gets over to third. And it's 1-0 LA. And here's Iglesias with runners at the corners and 2 outs. That hopped right over the glove of Frazier. Runners in the corners, 2 outs now here in the 4th. 1-0 Los Angeles. Ground ball. And going to first instead of stepping on second is Odor. But he still gets the out and the inning's over. But the Angels do get a run on an RBI single by Jason Castro. Middle of 4. It's now 1-0 Angels. So Castro came through. Here's the Rangers up to bat. Bottom 4, down 1-0. Here's Mancini. Ground ball. Brady will not botch this one. Throw to Cannon. 1 down. There won't be any E3 on this play. Here's our top pitch speed comparison. 95 miles per hour for Lance Lynn and 94 miles per hour for Griffin Cannon. So only a 1 mile per hour difference. Here we go. 1-1 to Calhoun. Ground ball. Punch between Iglesias and Rendon. Cut off by the left fielder. Which I'm not sure who that is. It might be Dickerson. But either way, it's a 1-out single for Calhoun. Here's Odor now. 0 for 1. 3-1 hitters count. And that is low and inside on the slider. 1-out walk. 2 on, 1 out for Frazier. There's 0 for 1 with a fly out. Chirinos on deck. And that is low on the changeup, 2-1. 2-1 to Frazier. Ground ball, this should be 2. And he might get no one. He got no one. A surprising decision by Abreu. That's a second error in as many innings. Bases are now loaded for Chirinos. That's a full count, too. Fly ball right field. This will probably score the runner from third. Tagging as a runner at third. Throw to the plate. It's cut off. Then thrown to the plate. And it's not in time, and the Rangers tie the game. And that error this time by Abreu comes back to bite the Angels. Bases are runners in the corners, 2 outs now for Andrews. As second error by Abreu comes back to bite the Angels. 1-1 game. Go ahead and run 90 feet away. Here's Andrews. Ground ball. That's a 10, and the inning is over. But the Rangers tie the game. And they tied the game thanks to that error by Abreu. And the fourth, now 1-1 here in Arlington. Here we go, 1-1, top 5 as both teams scored one run in the fourth. Here's Fletcher. Ground ball to Odor as one center baseman grounds out to the other. 1 down. Here's Rendon as 2 singles and as many at-bats. Line drive, falling fast as the ball, but caught by Mancini in center. 2 down. Here's Trout. 0 for 2 with a pop out and a ground out. Line drive, watch out. It hit the net though. It's the 67th pitch coming from Lynn. 1-2 to Trout. Ground ball on the shift, the door from the left to second. He's got to hurry. Low throw, a pitch by LeMahieu. That saved an error. Halfway home here on the show. It's a 1-1 game. We're back here in Arlington. Let's go on the field. Let's go down on the field to check in with Tiny Watney. Our manager, I believe, is Dave Roberts. Thank you, Heidi, for that report. And by the way, our manager is Joe Madden, not Dave Roberts. Our manager is Joe Madden. 1-1 to LeMahieu against Cannon. LeMahieu 0 for 2. Ground ball on the line. Will it stay fair? It will. Flippers to the bad. Flip by LeMahieu to Cannon. 1 down. As offset, LeMahieu had an error in the third and the fourth, and then one in the fourth led to the Rangers' 1 run, and that tied the game. Here's Betts. Fly ball sky high. Coming in is the center fielder, which is Trout. 2 down. Now Gallo 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. Shift is on. 2 outs already. 3-1 hitters count. And that is low on the fastball. Forcing fastball. 2 out walk. And the inning continues for Trey Mancini. He's also 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. Still been at 322 on the year, though. Still a good team. Really big powerhouse. Texas line drive. Almost at the runner. Doesn't, though. Throw to center by Hayward is not in time. 2 on 1 out now. So a 2 out walk, or 2 on 2 out. 2 out walk and then a single. Here's Calhoun. Is 2 for 2 with 2 singles and scored on the sac fly. 1-1. Fly ball. Playable for Dickerson. And straight away left. And the inning is over. And the Rangers strand a pair of runners. We head to the 6th. 1-1 game. Here we go. 6th inning. Here's Ohtani. 1 for 2 with the single. 1-1 pitch. Ground ball. Andrews. So a long throw. And it's like a rainbow throw, but still got Ohtani. 1 down. Abreu 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts, and in the field he has 2 errors. That's just a double play in his last at bat. 1-2, fly ball pretty deep, but nowhere near the wall or the warning track. Betts is there. Quickly 2 down to 6. There's Hayward. 2 for 2 with 2 singles, and I believe that scored the only run for LA. Full count. Ground ball, Lynn. And a quick 1-2-3 in for Lynn and the Rangers. Middle of 6. Still the Angels 1 and the Rangers, or the score is still the middle of 6. The score is still the Rangers, or middle of 6. The score is still the Angels 1 and the Rangers 1 here at Globe Life Field. Here we go. Bottom 6. 1-1 day. No action either bullpen. Here's Odor. Line drive. Jumping is the shortstop. Iglesias, but it's over his glove by a hair. Leadoff single for Odor. There's Frazier over 2 with a fly on and reached on one of the 2 errors for by Abreu. Full count. Popped up on the infield. Going back is Fletcher, and he'll make the catch on the edge of the infield dirt and the outfield grass. 1 down. Here's Chirinos, who had the sack fly in his last at bat. And starting the warm up is Justin Anderson, and the Angels bullpen has the energy of cannons in the yellow. 1 on 1 out for Chirinos. Ground ball, this could be 2. Second 1. First. Double play, good pitch by Abreu. The save and error. We head to the 7th. Still a 1-1 game. Top 7. Here's Alan Sickerson. Then it's Castro. Then top of the order, ground ball. Andrews. And there's 1 down in the 7th with the score still 1-1. There's Castro at the RBS single in his last at bat. And he has 2 singles in the game. 1-1. Ground ball where no one was. 3 hits for Jason Castro, who is struggling coming into the game. And he will stay at first. 3 singles, 3 at bats. 1 on, 1 out. He was struggling coming into the game, but might be breaking out the bats as he has 3 singles, or getting the ice off of him. Here's Iglesias. Fly ball, he's 0 for 3. Back is Mancini, 2 down. Now it's Fletcher, single bat in the 1st. Ground ball, and going to center for the 4th glove flip by Odor to Andrews, in and over. 7th inning stretch time here at the ballpark. The score is still 1-1. Here we go to Andrews. 0 for 3. And here comes the new pitcher Anderson from the Elliott bullpen. No ERA, 3 appearances here this season. Justin Anderson. Full count to Andrews, 0 for 3. Line drive, that's only a base hit. Can Hayward cut it off? Yes, he can. Leadoff single for Andrews here in the bottom of the 7th. Good start for the Rangers. You didn't miss anything. Loss up ended. Here we go. Runner at first, nobody out. Here's LeMahieu. LeMahieu is also 0 for 3. Now Anderson obviously is 1 for 4. 1-1. Ground ball. What a snap by Abreu. Second 1. First. Double play as the pitcher was covering the base. 3-6-1 double play, 2 down. Good job by the pitcher. Sorry about that. Good job by the pitcher covering. 2 down now for Betts, who has 2 singles and 3 at bats. 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a fly out. I think at bat surgeon said. Ground ball against a shift. Fletcher's got to hurry. He got Betts by a step, maybe less. We head to the 8th. It's still 1-1 here on the show. Top 8. No action in the Texas bullpen still. Energy of Lynn's in the yellow, though. And they're starting to warm up Shane Carley in the Texas bullpen. 1-1 game here in the 8th. 88th pitch coming from Lynn. Here's Rendon. Rendon, line drive. Betts is there. And he kind of had to do a leaping catch, but he makes the catch regardless. 1 down. Here's Trout, 0 for 3. 90th pitch down from Lynn. Shift is on. Ground ball, and diving is Odor, but he cannot get there. 1 out single for Trout, his first hit of the game, and here comes Ohtani with the go-ahead run on base. And that might be the end of the day for Lance Lynn. And they're now bringing in the new pitcher. The runner at first base is responsible of Lynn, so he took the loss in this one. 2-2 pitch to Ohtani. Ground ball is to be 2. LeMahieu, Andrews to the pitcher covering. Or excuse me, back to LeMahieu covering. It was LeMahieu, Andrews, and then back to LeMahieu. Another double play. Middle of 8, it's still a 1-1 game. Here's Dallow. Still against Justin Anderson. 0 for 2. Ground ball is a Heenan slider. Fielded by Anderson on the mound. 1 down here in the 8th. Dallow's 0 for 3 now with a walk. Here's Mancini, 1 for 3. Slider, a 4-seam fastball, and a 2-seam fastball for Anderson. 1-1. Hit hard! Won't stay fair at will! As it went 2 off the wall by the 326 sign down the right field line by the right field foul pole. Throw to second is not in time. And it's a first extra base hit for either team. It comes in the 8th. And that's a go-ahead run here in this ball game. As it's 2 off the wall by the 326 sign by the right field foul pole. And Nick Solak will pinch run for Trey Mancini at center base. And he's the go-ahead run in this ball game. As like I said, that double did 2 off the wall by the 326 sign by the right field foul pole. Here's Calhoun. And they're starting to warm up. Cam Benner Rosen, one of the 2 setup men for LA in the Angels bullpen. And they're starting to warm up Nick Goody and our closer, Jose Clerk, in the Rangers bullpen. 1-2 pitch. Fly ball left center. Dickerson over. Well, the runner trying to tag. And he will start going, then goes back. And throw at the center not in time as he started to bluff, but he threw the ball to the cutoff man and not straight to third base. Here's Odor. Runner at center, 2 outs. That's the go-ahead run at center base. Anderson stays in. 2-1. Ground ball, 1-2 throw will, and they're going to send the runner with 2 outs. Throwing the play by Dickerson is up the line, and the Rangers have the lead. An RBI single for Rougned Odor, and the Rangers have the lead in the 8th. 2-1 Rangers in the bottom of the 8th, and they're going to bring in the new pitcher for LA. Better get that closer ready, which the Rangers closer just started the warm up a few minutes ago. 3-1 hitters counting on a Frazier, 0 for 3. Ground ball. Back to the pitcher, and he hit his hand, I think. Threw to first, still got Frazier as Ben Rosen kind of botched it, but recovered and was able to throw out the slow-speeded Ranger, or the slow-speeded Frazier, and the inning's over. Last chance for the Angels in the top of the 9th. Last chance for the Angels in the top of the 9th. End of 8. It's 2-1 Rangers. And Nick Solak will remain in the game and play center field, and he can play center field because if you go to substitutions, and you go to Nick Solak, you can see right there he can play center base, third base, and the outfield. So, and then we're on Brennan. So Lance Lynn went 7 and a third, and then Nick Goody will be ready and waiting, and Jose Clerk will come in and try. Nick Goody ready and waiting, and I'm gonna bring in Jose Clerk, our closer, to try and get the save and get the sweep for the Rangers. Here he comes. 11 for 12 on save opportunities, 11 saves and 12 save opportunities. So he's only blown 1 save. Here's Jose Abreu versus Jose Clerk. He's 0 for 3. 6, 7, 8 due up for the Angels in the top of the 9th. 1 to tie, 2 to take the lead. Corner infielders are protecting the lines. 1-1 to Abreu. Swing and a miss. Blew it right by him at 98 on the 4-seamer. 1-2. Ground ball is a 2-seamer. Odor to LeMahieu, 1 down. Here's Hayward, 2 for 3 with 2 singles and scored the only run for the Angels back in the 4th inning, I believe. Full count. Line drive. That's what the Angels need. And here comes Castro, or not Castro. I believe now it's not sure who's up after this, but One out single, and that's a tying run. That's 3 singles, and now it's Dickerson, and then it will be Castro. Dylan Thompson will pinch run for Dylan Thompson will pinch run for Jason Hayward at first base. Or Dylan Thomas. His 81 speed. And here's Dickerson. Runner's going. It's a hit and run, and snapped his bat. Frazier to his left. What a play by Todd Frazier to avoid the barrel of the bat that came flying off the bat. As the barrel of the bat came flying off, as that was a broken bat. And obviously no double play as the runner was in motion as the barrel of the bat ended up by second base. Frazier, though, because the shortstop went over to second base to cover it, because of the runner going, Frazier, the third baseman, had the range like 20 feet to his left to steal the ball and throw out Dickerson. And there's Castro, who's 3 for 3 with 3 singles and has driven in the only run for LA. Timer at center base, 2 outs, top of the order to follow if Castro can get on. Here we go. Timer at center base, 2 outs, top 9, 2-1 Rangers. Game on the line. Ground ball just foul, and LA's down to their final strike. But a hit to the outfield should tie the game, especially with the runner at center having 81 speed. 2-2. Line drive. Watch out. Foul. 2-2. Another foul ball. 3 straight foul balls. 2-2. Ground ball. Frazier. Throw to first, and the game is over. The Clerk gets the save, and the Rangers get the sweep as they beat the Angels 2-1 as the Rangers beat the Angels 2-1 here in this third and final game of this 3-game weekend series, and the Rangers complete this 3-game sweep over the Angels as the Rangers win Game 3 2-1, and then win the series obviously, and the Rangers win Game 3 of the series 2-1, and obviously the Rangers win the series, or the Rangers won Game 3 of the series 2-1, and the Rangers won the series obviously 3-0, because obviously like I said we swept the Angels as the Rangers did the sweep over the Angels 3-0, as the Rangers win Game 3 of the series 2-1, as Carly gets the win, Anderson gets the loss, and the Clerk gets the save. As the Angels got Shane Carly got the win, Justin Anderson got the loss, and Jose Leclerc gets the save. As both teams scored 1 run in the 4th inning, and then the Angels, or as both teams scored 1 run in the 4th inning, and then the Rangers scored 1 run in the 8th inning. And then in the 9th inning, Leclerc came in, got the first out. Next guy got a single, and the next guy grounded out with the runner in motion. They got the runner to center base, and then Castro, who drove in the only run for LA, grounded out to Frazier to end and then obviously Castro, who drove in the only run for LA, grounded out to Frazier to end the game. As Shane Tarley gets the win, Justin Anderson gets the loss, and Jose Leclerc gets the save. As Mancini got a double, obviously there was pinch run for by Solak, who ended up being the game-winning run. As it was driven in by Odor. The first run was driven in by Chirinos on a sac fly, and it was scored by Calhoun. And the second run was driven in by Odor and scored by Solak, who pinch ran for Mancini. And then for the other side, obviously, Castro drove in the only run for LA in the 4th inning, and that run was, like I said, driven in by Castro and scored by Hayward. 1 run on 2 hits, or 1 run, or not 1 run on 2 hits, 1 run on 12 hits, 2 errors, which were both by Abreu for the Angels, and then 2 runs on 9 hits, no errors for the Rangers. So the Angels had 3 more hits than the Rangers, but the Rangers had 1 more run than the Angels. So yes, that Angels did hit. The Angels did out-hit the Rangers 12-9, but the Rangers outscored the Angels 2-1. And obviously the Rangers scored their first run in the 4th inning on that sac fly by Chirinos, and really I believe then it was unearned to the starter, which was Tannen, and obviously both starters got no decision, because the game was tied at 1 when they both left. Yeah, Abreu had 2 errors, his first 2 errors of the season, and yeah, that 1 run given up by Tannen was unearned because of the error. The second one given up by Anderson obviously was earned, But the first run, which was given up by the starting pitcher for the Angels, Griffin Tannen, was unearned. Griffin Tannen, who was the starting pitcher for the Angels, he gave up 1 run. It was, but it was unearned because of the Abreu error. And then and then on the other side, obviously, Lynn gave up 1 run, 1 earned run. Carly, obviously, pitched 2/3 of an inning, didn't give up any base runners. Obviously, Leclerc got his 12th save of the year. Gave up a single, but surrendered that runner at center base. As Carly gets the win, he's now 5-1 on the year. Leclerc gets a save, his 12th save of the year. And then, like I said, Anderson got the loss. He's now 0-1 on the year. So, Shane Carly got the win. He's now 5-1. Or Shane Carly got the win. He's now 5-1 on the year. Justin Anderson got the loss. He's now 0-1 on the year. And Jose Leclerc gets the save, his 12th save of the year. Won a game, 1 run on 12 hits, 1 run on 12 hits, 2 errors, both by Abreu for the Angels, and then 2 runs on 9 hits, no errors for the Rangers. As the first error for Abreu, was that one where it was a hard hit ground ball right to him, and the ball just went right under his glove. Second one, and you might be thinking the second one, I kind of did that on purpose, where he fielded the ball, and then once he fielded it, he ran like 10 feet forward towards like home plate, and then he threw it. I'm not sure why he did that, but you saw, that circle means that you're using that player. You saw the lines go up. That means I did hit a button to throw the ball. It's just that you saw that because you saw the lines go out from the circle, which means I did hit a button to throw the ball. Well, in this case, I hit one of the buttons, and in this case, like I said, I hit triangle. Because that's for second base, but for some reason when I hit that, I must have hit it too early, or hit it in a way that, or maybe I was moving up. I think that's what happened here. I think what happened here, I underestimated how far Abreu had to run up towards his home plate. They did the ball, and he didn't have to run he had to run a little, but I think when I picked up the ball, I was still pushing the left stick down, and then when I was still doing that, I hit triangle to throw to second base, and because I was still pushing down the left stick, I had him run, or because I hit triangle for second base, but I was still pushing down the left. I was still pushing down the left stick. Or I think right when I hit the button, I think I let go, but because the game still thought I was, or it still hasn't, but because the game didn't register. Or didn't recognize I was pushing down right away on the left side. Obviously let go right when I hit triangle, but because they didn't recognize it until I hit triangle, at that point I already was done pulling the left stick down, but the game didn't register that I did that until after I stopped doing it. That's why he ran forward like 10 feet before I threw to center base, and obviously that was the second error, and then obviously that second error, and then obviously the next guy, Chirinos, reached on a fielder's choice. And you might be thinking, well, this game would be tied if that didn't happen, because you were going to do a double play on that play, or a double play on that ball, or at least get an out, which would make 2 outs. And I believe at the time there was only 1 out. There was, I think, runners at the corners, or no, 2. I think there was runners at first and second, and 1 out. Runners at first and second, and 1 out, and then if I got a double play, it would end it over. Or even if I only got, say, the batter out at first base, it would have been runners at second and third and 2 outs, and a sad final went obviously worked with 2 outs. Saying that if there was, say, runners at second and third and 2 outs, or runners at the corners and 2 outs. But unfortunately, he made the error, which wasn't on purpose. You might be thinking it's on purpose because it helped the Rangers. And really that was the difference in the game. You might be thinking you did that on purpose because it helped the Rangers win, because like I said, that was the difference in the game. I did not do that on purpose. I did not do that on purpose. I did not do that on purpose. Everyone's human. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone's human. Everyone makes mistakes. And I wouldn't lie to you guys. And I wouldn't be biased. You might be thinking you are biased because you probably would be biased for the Rangers, especially when you have both shoulders and you're controlling the other team. You might be thinking you never lose. Like if you play a game of both shoulders, you might never lose. with your team, in this case the Rangers, or if it's another franchise like my Washington Nationals franchise or my Minnesota Twins custom franchise. You might be thinking, well, you never lose with them. That's not the case. I have lost, like say in this case, say if I'm playing my Minnesota Twins custom franchise, I have lost with my team and all my franchises. I've lost in this franchise. Well, on opening day we did win, and here we did win as well. But for let's take obviously some merch over continuing franchise. So let's just talk about my Directed Saints rotation franchise. I have lost with that franchise before, and really I've lost with every franchise. So obviously I'm not always, or really I'm never biased. I'm never biased. You might be thinking that's a complete lie. It's not, though. It's just that because I know the difference in the game was the error by Abreu, but everyone's human and everyone makes mistakes, and I'm not biased. And like I said, I wouldn't lie to you guys. But like I said, I also have lost stands in franchise with my team before. Like if you go to one of my other franchises, I have lost with like my Directed Saints rotation franchise. I've lost with the Directed Saints. I've lost with my Washington Nationals and my Washington Nationals franchise. And then I've lost with my Colorado Rockies, in my Colorado Rockies franchise. I've lost with my Boston Red Sox, in my Boston Red Sox MLB The Show 21 franchise, and then I've lost I think in the last episode of my Boston Red Sox MLB The Show 21 franchise series, I lost the day. I think it was 2-1 against the Yankees in New York, and then with my franchise in MLB The Show 22, which is the Angels. I believe I lost in that second episode of my Los Angeles Angels MLB The Show 22 franchise series. I've lost in that franchise as well. Basically, have lost a game with my team in every one of my franchises in MLB The Show 20, 21, and 22. So I'm not biased, because if I was, I would make sure I would never lose in games I play with both controllers. But obviously, I do lose in every one of my franchises when I'm playing with both controllers. I have lost in every one of my franchises, or at least almost all my franchises, when I play with both controllers. And like I said, I only play with both controllers when I'm filming. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I showed you. I did not show you what the next episode of the series would be. I'm going to do that right now. So, I meant to do it earlier, but I'm going to do it right now. And I showed the Clark who had to save as a player of the game. Threw 15 pitches, they have that one hit, but that was it. But like I said, if I was biased, I would make sure every game that I played with both controllers, I would win with my team. Obviously, I'm not biased because I have lost games with my team when I play with both controllers. So the next episode of the series will be, well, this is May, but that's maybe Boston. Is that anything? Boston, or I don't want LA again, and then Baltimore is trash. Yeah, I'm thinking the next episode of a series. Sorry, I just shut the camera. I'm thinking the next episode of a series will be a stern final game against the Boston Red Sox, or maybe the Rays. Yeah, maybe the Rays. I mean, Red Sox and Rays are both in the AL East. Yeah, I'm gonna do the Rays. Next episode of the series will be the third and final game of this three-game. The next episode of the series in this game will be the third and final game of this three-game series against the Rays in Tampa Bay. It will be the game that cursor's on right now. It will be the third and final game of this three-game weekend series against the Rays in Tampa. Right now we're 20-8. They're 15-13. But obviously this game is like a month away in this game. And then that'll be the next episode, and then that'll be the next episode of the series, and the next episode after that will be the 4th of July game against the Miami Marlins in Miami, and then the next episode after that will be, well, the Home Run Derby or the All-Star Game. And if we have someone in the Home Run Derby, that will be a separate video, and then obviously the All-Star Game, I always play the All-Star Game, regardless if we have a starter in the All-Star Game or not. Regardless of that, I always play the All-Star Game. I always play the entirety of the All-Star Game with both controllers. Because I just posted an All-Star Game in my Colorado Rockies MLB The Show 20 franchise. That was the last video on this channel. Check it out if you haven't yet. There'll be links to that video in the description below. But yeah, Like I said, I just showed you what the next episode of the series will be in this game, but I'm not sure when it's going to be in real life. But hopefully it'll be sooner. But hopefully it will be sooner than later, and hopefully it won't be another 9 months between episodes. But yeah, that's pretty much, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. You'll find out what and when the next video on this channel will be when I post it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. That's pretty much it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay guys, time for it closing. Abort it. If you had sub, so hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Tell your mom, dad, grandma and grandpa, aunts, uncles, pets, and friends about these videos. And you know what, I'm gonna see you. And you know what, I'm gonna see you in episode number 14 of this Texas Rangers MLB The Show 20 March to October continued in franchise series. See you in episode number 14. And eat on a bacon and go Rangers.